Hello and welcome to the Tottenham channel, and today I'm going to be making my 2022-23 Premier League predictions. That's right, the Premier League is back finally after 2-3 months without any sort of Premier League football. We are back in the Premier League fun basically, and obviously I'll be predicting the Premier League table using the tier list. You'll see later on. And if you like the content that you might be seeing on my channel, where I will be doing a lot more Premier League, Newcastle United, because that's the team I support. Even international football, even when the World Cup begins. Yes, that's right. Remember, the World Cup is in the middle of the Premier League season. So if you want to see more content on this channel, please do like the video, of course, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And without further ado, let's get into the predictions. So here is the tier list to make the Premier League predictions, just to make my life easier. I will start from the bottom. Yes, the stepdaughter part of the Premier League, up to the Godfather, the Don Wobby, of DR Sports, the AFTV, the first place, the title winners. Obviously, I will be predicting from step bro all the way to Godfather mode, basically, and that's how I'm going to be predicting. So let's start. In 20th place, let me be honest with you. I have Bournemouth finishing rock bottom of the league. To be honest, right, I think they're going to have one of the worst Premier League seasons. They haven't invested in their squad as much as other Premier League teams have, especially the other two that have been promoted. They have added a lot more quality. Obviously, I'll speak about them later. But Bournemouth, right, they just don't have any quality about them. Like, I don't really know much about their players. They have Dominic Solanke, who, it's really uninspiring, and you need good amount of money in the Premier League to survive, even to at least challenge to actually survive in the league. But I just feel like Bournemouth might be one of those teams that finish with just like 16-17 points by the end of the season. I really think they're going to be one of the worst teams in Premier League history, this specific team. I'm sorry, Bournemouth fans, it's just you guys aren't that good. And so in 19th place, I've kind of debated whether I think they might be staying up. A lot of people may think, this could be a time they might not do a Norwich again and get relegated again. I just feel like there's other teams in the division that will do a lot more better than Fulham. But of course, Fulham have strengthened. They have added Andreas Pereira, who's actually in my FPL team. He's the only one I really know, and Mitrovic. So, they do have a bit of quality. It's just that, can they do it over the course of a 38-game season, especially when there's a break in the middle? If Fulham are like near the bottom, I think they will be at most part of the season, and I just feel like they'll drop off near the end of the season and just finish 19th. In 18th place, I go for Southampton. I know I predicted them to finish in the relegation last season. At some point, Ralph Hasenhüttl has to be sacked. He is not a good Premier League manager. Yes, he has had them, in the very good times, obviously. But he has also overseen 2 9-0 defeats. How do you still keep the job after losing 9-0 twice in back-to-back seasons? And let me be honest, Southampton's end of the season form has been terrible. Absolutely atrocious. So bad with my words, but what is there to be inspired about Southampton besides them actually being South? And South as it is, I just think that Southampton's time will come very soon, and I feel like it will be this season. In 17th place, I've gone with Brentford. I predict Brentford to finish in 17th place. I feel like they'll just get second season syndrome. Kind of similar to like how Leeds kind of got theirs. I feel like Brentford without Christian Eriksen in the team, I just feel like the team is not that good enough to sustain a big challenge throughout the season of the Premier League. But I feel like they'll have just enough to stay afloat in this Premier League season. In 16th place, I've gone with, this might be a bit of a surprise, I've gone with Wolves. Yep, this is one of the bigger-ish sort of predictions. I just feel like I don't think Bruno Lage will get sacked, but I think there will be a big drop-off and a big struggle for Wolves this season. Or who knows, maybe Wolves will be like around 11 and 12, like around the World Cup time. But then over the course of the second half of the season in 2023, I feel like Wolves will slowly go down the Premier League table and finish like that range of like 16th. So I think Wolves could have like a okay-ish start to the season, but I feel like when January and February, March and all of that hits, I feel like they'll really drop a bit, and that's why I went with Wolves 16th. They'll have one of the more bigger drop-offs, just as Brentford have. In 15th place, I have gone with, I'll go with Leeds. I'll go with Leeds in 15th. And I feel like a lot of people think they might get relegated, and I kind of see why. They were jack shit last season, and a lot of people just think that maybe they'll just continue to be jack shit. But I feel like, you know, with the recruitment and the signings that they have, I just feel like they could do something, Leeds. And I feel like people might be underestimating Leeds this season. And, you know, 15th for Leeds, I think will be a lot more better. But I feel like they'll still be in a sort of relegation battle. But I don't think it'll be as bad as it was last season. I feel like they'll at least stabilize this season. Hopefully, Bamford stays fit for them, and they get the results that they need. In 14th place, I know, I still have them here, but here it is, Everton. Let me move that. Everton to finish in 14th place. What do I think how Everton's season will go? I feel like they'll have one of the like a bad start, and Frank Lampard will get sacked, and then, you know, maybe they'll bring in like a Sam Allardyce or just some manager, and I feel like they'll somehow survive when a lot of people think they'll get relegated. I almost had them kind of getting relegated, but I feel like there's going to be that sort of switch on Everton. I don't know why. I could be super wrong, and Everton could get relegated, but I think they'll have a new manager at near the end of the season, and that's how they will probably do, like, let's fight, and they'll survive. That's what I think of Everton. In 13th place, I've gone with Nottingham Forest, the new boys of the Premier League. Hopefully they're not the step bros of the Premier League, because that's Fulham's and Norwich's title. But I feel like, I think Nottingham Forest have signed like 11-12 players this transfer window alone, and people would be like, oh, but they won't gel that well. But I feel like there's a bit of an aura about the Forest this season, and I feel like there'll be that one promoted team that survives. Brentford finished 13, as how I'm predicting Forest to predict 13 for Nottingham Forest. I feel like maybe some teams will underestimate them, and I feel like Forest would do a lot better than what maybe some people think. In 12th place, I've gone with, you know what, I'll go for a little bit of a surprise here. I've gone with Leicester. Now, it's only early August, late July, and Leicester are one of the, I think they're the only team in Europe's top 5 leagues who has not signed a single player. How do you not go a transfer window without signing any players when the team clearly underperformed in the league last season? And I just feel like Leicester needs a bit of a refresh. They have to get something new. They have to get something fresh about them. I just feel like there's just nothing spectacular to look at Leicester these days. And I feel like, if they sell one or two very key players, they can have a lot more worse of a season than what I'm predicting them at 12th. In 11th place, I've gone with Aston Villa. That's right, the villains. I predicted Aston Villa to finish in 11th. And the reason why I've gone with Aston Villa to finish in 11th is I feel like people are still hyping up this Aston Villa team. I really don't get why are they being so hyped up. They literally finished 14th. You know who finished above them? Brentford, Wolves, Leicester, and even us. Even we finished above Aston Villa, and we were on 7 points after 14 games last season. How I just don't know what to really make out of this Aston Villa team. I just don't. They're not going to push for Europe. I think 11th is quite a respectable position for Aston Villa. Alright, and in 10th place, so we're going for the top half of the Premier League table, I have Brighton. Brighton to finish in 10th. I think they'll have another pretty decent season. Even with the loss of Bissouma and potentially Mark Cucurella. I feel like they'll still be as good, if not maybe better this season. And I feel like Brighton are once again being a little bit underestimated. I think 10th place would be a very good position for them to finish. Back to back like top 10 finishes. They finished 9th last season, so 10th place wouldn't be that bad. And I feel like Brighton will be a pretty decent team this season. In 9th place, I've gone with Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace to finish in 9th place. So this will be a huge improvement for Crystal Palace. And the reason why I have Palace high up the league, I feel like a little bit of injustice on them last season when I predicted them in 17th. But I have Palace. I feel like Palace's sort of way of doing things is a lot better than what maybe a lot of people think. And a lot of people are actually having Palace at around this like mid-table finish. And so I feel like Palace will do really well this season. 9th place would be a very good finish. 8th place, I've gone with West Ham. You know what? I don't think they'll underperform, but I still think they have quality to overcome certain teams in this league. I just feel like surely they can't do 3 in a row in Europe again. I just feel like they may have a little bit of a drop off this season, but it won't be as a big of a drop off as, let's say, finishing like 12th or whatever. I think West Ham 8th would be a pretty much a respectable position, but not what they would expect, and so maybe they'll be a little bit underwhelming. You know what? I don't want to sound super deluded, so I'll just put us in 7th. So we're basically going to finish the best of the rest. If you exclude the top 6, we win. Woo! I just feel like there's a good. Now here's all of the your Newcastle delusion, right? I don't care, right? Let me back my team, right? We've never had, a summer transfer window in our entire history whereby we're like, oh my god, we can actually do something this season. We've never been this optimistic before, so this is like whole new territory. And you know what? There was the very first season I watched Newcastle play as a supporter, we finished 5th, right? So if we finish in 7th, that'll be the second best season. Plus, that means we will qualify for Europe, most likely, right? And so, I just feel like our chance of finally getting to Europe for the first time in 10 years, this is a perfect opportunity where we will smash Manchester United at some point, even though Man U will probably still finish above us. But you know what? I want to have faith in my team. I want a lot of love and support for my team. So you know what? 7th place, we're getting into the Europa, what is a Conference League. Woo! I have Manchester United in 6th place. Whoops. Yep. 6th place for Manchester United. What more can I say about how amazing the transfer window has gone? Literally, they have chased Frankie de Jong of summer, and probably by the time you watch this video, you'll be like, he's finally signed for Manchester United, or Manchester United are basically going, bad. So I just feel like Manchester United this season, I do not expect them to improve on what they had last season. They finished 6th. I'm predicting 6th again. The team's not good enough. In 5th place and just missing out on top 4, I have Chelsea. Yep, I have a Chelsea to finish in 5th. And the reason why I have chosen Chelsea to finish in 5th is I feel like their preseason hasn't been good. I feel like they might have a slow start to the season. I feel like of any of the top 6 managers, big 6 clubs in the Premier League, I feel like Thomas Tuchel will be the one manager that will be sacked or whatever. I feel like Chelsea will have a bit of a bad season, and I just don't think they'll do as well as maybe some people might have them. And you know what? I feel like the top 4, I think, is a very, very good top 4. I just feel like Chelsea this season is not going to be that good in terms of their league position. All right, and the top 4, I'll go with Tottenham to finish in 4th. Yeah, I'm saying it. Tottenham to finish in 4th once again. They'll still make Champions League, but I feel like people are so hyping them up. Why are people hyping up Spurs? Some people think they're going to win the league or finish in 2nd. I'm just going to say this, right? There are only 2 teams in this league that can lose just 3 games all season. And we know who those 2 teams are. And you'll probably guess who's going to finish in 3rd. I'm just going to put it right now. Arsenal. I predict Arsenal to finish in a Champions League spot for the first time in 6 years. And not only that, I think it will be the first time in 6 years that Arsenal finish above Spurs. Top 2, who's winning the league and who's getting 2nd? Let me be honest with you, a lot of people have this. I just have to be kind of boring, I'm sorry. Not making the same mistake as I had last season, predicting Chelsea to win the league. Now I have Chelsea finishing 5th, not even top 4. Liverpool 2nd, Manchester City 1st. Yeah, and to be honest, right, I feel like both Man City and Liverpool will do very well. And I just feel like Man City will kind of run away with the league near the end of the season. Where maybe they'll be 8, 9, 10 points ahead of Liverpool by the time it's March or April. And so I feel like that's where Manchester City's challenge might be on something else. We'll soon find out. And so yeah, I and for Liverpool, I think they'll be alright. They're not going to finish outside of the top 4. I just don't think they'll be challenging the league as much as they were last season. And yeah, 2nd place for Liverpool is not that bad, to be honest. And so those are my 2022-23 Premier League predictions. Now, if you want to join my FPL league, you can join with the code right here. It's JX9Z2A. And yeah, and let's see, maybe by the end of May, if I get maybe 5 out of 20 of these teams spot on, then that would be amazing, right? So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.